Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Show No Mercy Show with your host, Bodega Joe. How's everybody feeling tonight? You got New York Times calling it the breakup of the century. Donald Trump and Elon Musk. What the fuck is going on? I feel like we're living in idiocracy here. Everybody's wearing Crocs. Nobody knows how to build shit. You got, you're talking like a fag, and you're tarded a little bit. Shit's all fucked up. What is going on, dude? I mean, it's almost like a soap opera. What I want to call it a Psyopera, ladies and gentlemen. This has got to be some sort of psyop, right? I mean, is it a coincidence that Joe Rogan had Kash Patel on his podcast, and the news broke while they were recording in the studio, and Joe Rogan got to, bring it up to Kash Patel, the director of the FBI. And furthermore, Theo Vaughn has fucking JD Vance on his podcast and broke the news to JD Vance while on the podcast. What are the fucking odds of that? That's insane. I think what happened is Elon told Joe Rogan told Theo Vaughn that this tweet was going to drop beforehand. But it's like I'm living in a fucking simulation, dude. If you don't feel that way, if you think that this is all just by chance, you're absolutely fucking insane. I mean, we brought this up during the Tim Dillon bit that I did. I think it's like episode 10. We brought this up then. Do these podcasters, Rogan Sphere podcasters, do they have the ability, the power, to influence certain things? And they absolutely do. They're fucking called influencers. They absolutely do. Tim Dillon trying to downplay that thing on CNN was my whole point. It's not that I don't dislike Tim Dillon. I fucked around a little bit, but at the end of the day, what I was really trying to point out is that you got this guy that's completely denying that they have any type of strong influence, in regards to obviously the elections. I just highly disagree. I don't think that it's something that you have to go, oh, that's crazy. You're crazy. I mean, what the fuck is JD Vance doing on the Theo Vaughn podcast anyway, dude? Like, what? And then you're telling me it's just a coincidence that this fucking huge news breaks while JD Vance is in the air. He has no idea. It didn't blow up in his phone as soon as he got off that jet. You don't think that the jet has Wi-Fi and that this isn't a thing? Like, Theo Vaughn breaks it to JD Vance, dude. That's fucking weird. Think about it. Wow, we are living in the idiocracy era. And what is going, and who give these guys fighting on Twitter is the most beta thing that I have ever witnessed two grown ass men doing. I mean, I know people fight on Twitter all the time, but this is weird. I think it's absolutely out of pocket, out of character. This don't look like America to me. This looks like some straight up, I hate saying this, but beta shit. People keep comparing it to like a divorce. the Trump and Elon are getting a divorce. Who's going to get the Tesla? No, dude, this is nothing like a divorce. This is like if Trump let a hooker into the White House, and then paid her money to leave, and she didn't leave, and you felt bad for her because she's like this homeless prostitute. And you finally have to say, all right, it's time to go. It's time to go. Your job is done here. You sucked me off enough. Get out now. And then the prostitute got all butthurt, goes out on the streets, starts talking all kinds of shit. He's got a small wee-wee. He's on the Epstein list. He's a pedophile. What? But you were around. You had to have seen that list. It's not like Elon saw this list the day that he tweeted this. A month before he tweeted this. He had to have known who was on that Epstein list when he started working for Trump. But now that things are going bad, then he's going to come out and say that that's why they haven't been released. Why wouldn't you just tell us this earlier? As soon as you found out, you should have raised your hand if you're that guy. If you're a guy that really gives a fuck. Be like, I'm not fucking doing anything for this guy. I don't care. I thought he was something else. He's on this list. I totally disagree with this. I'm not going to be involved in this anymore. And then Trump being like, by the way, Elon is a Nazi. Come on. What a weird, cheap shot, too. You let a Nazi come and help you out. So this guy knows you're a pedophile, still helps you out. And you think he's actually a Nazi or knew that he was a Nazi. So you let him in. What the fuck? Either way, it looks so dumb. I can't believe this. I can't believe that JD Vance got this story broke to him during the podcast with Theo Von. Let's actually check this out. Let's listen to some tunes real quick. Right now, I have up in the queue. I got this song, Summer's Over. No. I got TV Girl with Better in the Dark. Let's listen to this song. Check it out. We're going to take a quick break. Then when we come back, we're going to watch the Theo Von podcast where Theo Von breaks the news to JD Vance about Elon Musk and Donald Trump beefing. When he breaks the news that he says that Elon says, but hey, Theo says to JD Vance, hey, did you see what Elon said? Here you go. And apparently JD Vance had no idea. I got it. I hate saying the word apparently. I feel like I sound like the apparently, this is my first time on TV. And apparently, I've got to stop saying that now. That kid fucking ruined everything. Same with guys. We got to stop saying literally. Stop it. Stop it. You sound like a hoe, dude. Stop saying literally. Literally? Literally, I bought the Tesla with my own money. Literally. Everybody's wondering what's going to happen with the Tesla that Elon gave Musk. Well, turns out, or no, Elon gave Musk. Elon versus Musk, ladies and gentlemen. The Tesla that everybody thinks Elon gifted Trump, actually Trump bought with his own shekels. He bought that Tesla on his own. He didn't even get a Plaid. I don't even think it's a Plaid. Wow. Guys, stop saying literally and stop buying Teslas. It's not cool. Get a fucking truck. You cuck. Get a truck. Don't get a Tesla Model S. God. Anyway, So we're going to take a quick break. Stop saying literally. Stop buying Teslas. Okay? You don't need to work out to be a man. You don't need to be a big buff guy in order to be a man. You need to just stop buying Teslas and stop saying literally every 2 seconds for everything. Anyway, we're going to listen to some music. As you can see, it's Pride Month, is it not? And I have my rainbow hat on. So, in support. All right, so we got some TV girl with Better in the Dark. Let's check it out. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Show No Mercy show. That was Jordana and TV Girl with Better in the Dark. So yeah, the whole Trump Elon beef is all the rage right now, and I just think it's silly. It really reminds me of Idiocracy. There's so many things that remind me of Idiocracy that are going on currently, but this is just this Psyopera, which is a psyop mixed with a soap opera. If you haven't picked that up yet, it's what I coined the phrase Psyopera. That's what this is. I just think it's so strange, like I've said before, that these stories broke to the Vice President of the United States by Theo Vaughn. Broke it to him, and Joe Rogan broke it to the director of the FBI, director of the FBI, Kash Patel. That is weird, man. Something ain't right. It's weird how Joe Rogan became famous talking about these conspiracy theories because he was outside of the circle for so long. And as soon as he stepped inside the circle, he has essentially become the conspiracy. For sure. Come on, you don't see it? Anyway, I was watching the Theo JD Vance interview, and I noticed Theo Von said something very strange. Theo Von says he is what did he call himself? A pervert or something. He tells JD Vance that maybe I'm just a pervert. It's like he couldn't, and it had nothing to do with what they were talking about. It's almost like he had to tell somebody so bad that he's a weird pervert guy, predator, that it just exploded out of his mouth for no reason. Very strange. But we'll watch some of this interview. You'll see JD Vance get the news broken to him and act like he has never seen this, which I find very hard to believe. Let's check it out here. Let me bring it over. Look at that, I'm a genius. Let me maximize this. All right, let's check this interview out. It's strange.
Okay,
we have you here. Right. Elon just hit. I gotta ask you.
Okay,
we have you here. Right. Elon just hit the airwaves today. Bring it up,
man.
Dude.
Oh man,
the fucking shit missile is in the cannon.
Okay. Wow.
Elon Musk, time to drop the really big bomb, right? And I thought this was going to be on Iran.
So it's funny. I haven't even seen.
Right.
I haven't even seen this one.
But he goes, at real Donald Trump is in the Epstein files. This is the real reason they have not been made public. Have a nice day. Nice signature from a South African DJT.
Man. Well,
so weird that Theo, I think this has to be a Theo Von studio setup. Look at this weird ass portrait in the background. That's interesting to me. It's got to be like it's a SpaceX ship, Starship Troopers. But this has to be a SpaceX thing. And then this weird portrait of Donald Trump, which I guess it's like an iconic still, if you will. Stay true. Only thrills. But anyway, so it's a popular photo. Obviously, it's when Donald Trump got shot, clearly, and when he stood back up and pounded his fist in the air. This is strange to have something like this. This means it means you worship them. That's what I think. I would never have a picture like this in my house. This is like having a portrait of your, I don't know, junior high principal. I don't like it. I think it's weird. And I'm not a total like anti-Trump guy or anything like that. I just want to point out that this is fucking weird, dude. This is weird. JD Vance talking to Theo Von is weird. Theo Von putting breaking news out there to JD Vance, that's weird. It's strange.
Just so your audience is aware, when is this going to air? Like tomorrow or 2 days from now?
45 minutes airing now, dude. No, I'm joking. I'm joking.
Well, I'm just saying, like,
no.
Presumably, when this comes out, people are going to know more about this than even I do,
will.
Because
I just learned about this.
This kind of happened on the plane when I was coming on down here. Okay,
I agree.
Look,
this is new.
Here's my big.
Okay, so maybe JD Vance already heard her. He said that this happened on the way there, but it seems like he already knew about it.
Reaction to like all this stuff is look. First of all, absolutely not. Donald Trump didn't do anything wrong with Jeffrey Epstein. Like, the guy is whatever the Democrats and the media says about him. That's totally BS. Here's my basic read on it. First of all, I'm the vice president to President Trump. My loyalties are always going to be with the president. And I think that Elon, he's an incredible entrepreneur. He's actually done I think Doge was really good. This sort of effort to root out waste, fraud, and abuse in our country was really good. And look, man, I'm always going to be loyal to the president, and I hope that eventually Elon kind of comes back into the fold. Maybe that's not possible now because he's gone so nuclear.
Well, his feelings
but I hope it is, man.
His feelings
Because
are hurt. Why though? Do you know why?
Yeah, I mean, so look, I think number one, so Elon's new to politics, right? So his businesses are being attacked nonstop. They're literally like firebombing some of his cars. And by the way, we're looking into a lot of this stuff. I mean, some of that stuff we're looking into is an act of terrorism at the Department of Justice, because I think it is an act of terrorism. So I think part of it is this guy got into politics and has suffered a lot for it. But I mean, and I get the frustration there, and I get the frustration that, I mean, look, Congress, you got this spending bill. But the main purpose of the bill is not actually spending or cutting spending, though it does cut a lot of spending. The main purpose of the bill is to prevent the biggest tax increase. But I understand, like, it's a good bill. It's not a perfect bill. Like the process in DC, if you're a business leader, you probably get frustrated with that process because it's more, bureaucratic. It's more slow moving.
Yeah.
So I think there's just some frustrations there. But I really, man, I think it's a huge mistake for him to go after the president like that. And I think that if he and
Is that a threat? Why is it a huge mistake? Are you gonna suicide him? Just kidding.
president are in some blood feud. Most importantly, it's going to be bad for the country. But I don't think it's going to be good for Elon either.
But Elon, like, did Doge, first of all, my first thought was that it's a ruse, right? Because there's a lot of times where the media will put out a ruse, or they'll use somebody like, I think the Diddy thing is a ruse. Like, it's like, hey, like, diverse communities, stay busy with this shit.
You think the Diddy thing is a ruse? It's not a ruse, man. Like, we need to know this stuff. I don't think the Diddy thing is a ruse, brother. Well, it's strange that you say that. It's just a ruse. To say it's just a ruse, I think, is a weird take. Let's keep watching.
Wow, we like move all these chess pieces, right? Sometimes that's what I feel like it is. And maybe I'm like a pervert or whatever, sorry. Or weird guy, sorry. But
Whoa. Wait a second. So you think the Diddy thing is only being televised to distract us? Which is, I guess, a fine, if that's what, I mean, it could be. It makes sense. I could see where you're coming from with that. But at the same time, it's something that we should all be aware of. If this stuff was going on with these high ranking celebrities, these elite celebrities that are linked to politicians, I don't think that it's a distraction. I think that it's something that needs to be put out there for everybody to understand. That there are elite people with a lot of money doing really, really fucking weird, questionable things and committing crimes, and sometimes crimes against children. And the relation to these issues between celebrities and politicians, I think, are notable. We should know about that. I don't think it's a ruse, man. I don't think the Epstein thing is a ruse. I think these are all very real things that the American people and the public should know about. But Theo Von claiming that they're a ruse and then saying that maybe he thinks that because he's a pervert, that's a weird thing to say. Those are two weird things to say in a row. Like, I don't understand the context.
and maybe I'm like, wow, is a ruse. Like, it's like, hey, like, diverse communities, stay busy with this shit while we like move all these chess pieces, right? Sometimes that's what I feel like it is. And maybe I'm like a pervert or whatever, or weird guy, sorry. But This has nothing to
JD Vance, the look on his face is like, what did you just say?
Anything is a ruse. Like, it's like, hey, like, diverse communities, stay busy with this shit while we like move all these chess pieces, right? Sometimes that's what I feel like it is. And maybe I'm like a pervert or whatever.
Why would you be a
or
pervert?
Weird guy. Sorry. But
JD Vance is like, what the fuck did you just say? Did you say you believe all this stuff is a ruse because you're a pervert? What the fuck? And then let's look at Theo Von's face. He's like completely shamed.
like a pervert or whatever. Sorry. Or weird guy. Sorry. The bill, this is where it's happened. I hate that dude. But I'm
Not a pervert. Maybe you're a weird
guy. Sorry. But this has nothing to do with that. But I'm
not
not
a pervert. Maybe you're a weird guy. You're not a pervert. I think you're a good dude. You're a
Well,
good
I
dude.
appreciate that, dude. So do you think it was, so obviously it was the bill. This is where it's happened. Something about the bill made him upset.
Yeah. So,
Something about the bill made him upset. I'm a pervert. Everything that is going on in our in the public right now with Diddy and Epstein is all a ruse. I'm a pervert, though.
That's right. I mean, again, I think he looked at the bill. He didn't like it. And I think it's a good bill. But again, there are things you can criticize about it. Like the president would be very open and say, this is not a perfect bill.
Yeah.
But Donald Trump doesn't get to write the bills, right? Congress has to write the bills.
Okay.
And you got to work with them to try to get something that is as good as possible.
Okay.
So here's what I'll say about the bill. Number one, prevents the biggest tax increase in American history.
It prevents it?
I think the original thing was him coming on and explaining this bill that everybody's upset about. I think that was what they had originally planned to talk about. Yeah.
Prevents it because taxes are going to go up on everybody in a really big way at the end of 2025 because the old tax law expires at the end of 2025. So you're going to hit a big tax increase. We're trying to prevent that from happening. We're also trying to do stuff. Okay, so you got a lot of people working long overtime hours in this economy. We inherited bad inflation from Joe Biden, so no tax on overtime. No tax on tips, right? We're in Bob Ritchie, we're in Kid Rock's great restaurant. His servers would not have to pay taxes on the hard-earned tips that they get when they're.
Sounds like they visited Kid Rock's restaurant in Nashville. If I'm not mistaken, that's where Theo Von is located. That's the same place. I think that's where he choked that guy, but he grabbed that guy by the neck. Theo Von's got a little bit of jiu-jitsu training. So he's a little confident. He grabbed the dude by the throat. Apparently that guy that was harassing Theo Von, I heard that the story from the guy that got his neck grabbed by Theo Von is that he went up to Theo Von nicely and just was saying nice things, and Theo Von got upset. I heard that there's another side of the story where he asked Theo Von if he wanted to huff these balloons. And Theo Von's like a sober guy, allegedly. So Theo Von got upset about that and grabbed the dude by the throat. I don't know if it's true. I don't know. But anyway, let's keep watching here.
Busting their ass doing a good job. So when working for Kid Rock, man, that's hard work, right? So I think that it's a good bill and it does a lot of good for the American people. But like, look, Elon's entitled to his opinion. I'm not saying he has to agree with the bill or agree with everything that I'm saying. I just think it's a huge mistake for the world's wealthiest man. I think one of the most transformational entrepreneurs ever, that's Elon, to be at this war with the world's most powerful man, who I think is doing more to save the country than anybody. I mean, I'm 40 years old, anybody in my lifetime. You think about it. It's a guy who, not even a year ago, nearly took a bullet in the process of campaigning, went back on the horse the next day. And if you look, obviously I'm biased, but you look at what we've done on the border, you look at what we've done with trade, fighting back against a generation of theft of the American dream, which is what the president's trade policies are starting to do. I just think you got to have some respect for him and say, look, yeah, we don't have to agree on every issue. I'm talking about if you're Elon Musk, you don't have to agree with us on every issue, but is this war actually in the interest of the country? I don't think so. So hopefully Elon figures it out, comes back into the fold. I know the president, for a couple days, I'll tell you, just, I don't want to reveal too many confidences, but, was getting a little frustrated, feeling like some of the criticisms were unfair coming from Elon. But I think has been very restrained because the president doesn't think that he needs to be in a blood feud with Elon Musk. And I actually think if Elon chilled out a little bit, everything would be fine.
It would help. Well, Elon also tweeted that he thought that in the second half of this year that there would be the Trump tariffs will cause a recession in the second half of this year. Now, who knows what could cause a recession in the second half of this year? It could be a buildup of our entire just history of being.
It's crazy that he's just bringing up all these Elon tweets during this interview. Crazy.
But he's saying this. So it seems like, and this is just me guessing, and I don't know Mr. Musk. I never met Mr. Musk. One time he fed my buddy spaghetti at a party, though, dude. My buddy, people were raging and shit, and
your buddy couldn't feed himself the spaghetti.
Well, my buddy said he offered my buddy some spaghetti, and my buddy said, "Yeah, I'd like to have some." And then instead,
but only if you feed it to me.
But instead of getting him a plate of spaghetti, he made him some and put it in his mouth, dude.
Does your buddy know Frederick Douglass?
My buddy, I'll say this. My buddy actually is a friend of FDR. Or no.
That's a different.
Sorry, of shit.
Frederick.
I don't know. God, dude.
What the fuck is going on here? Yikes. This is awkward as fuck, dude. What the fuck? Why are these two hanging out?
Does your buddy know Frederick Douglass?
My buddy, I'll say this. My buddy actually is a friend of FDR. Or no.
That's a different.
Sorry, of shit.
Frederick.
I don't know. God, dude.
Okay.
Oh, fucking ruin this shit, dude. Fuck, dude. Civics, man. Chill out. But he said that he thinks but do you think that he just thinks that there's too many, that it's not a fair bill for the people? Do you think Elon Musk is for the people?
I mean, I think that he's making a mistake in going after the president.
Okay.
Yeah, I think his heart is in the right place, man.
Okay.
I do. Like, I think he got into this for the right reasons. I think he's frustrated. I think he's an emotional guy. Honestly, I'm a very emotional guy.
Yeah.
Like it's the president is it's interesting because if you read the media reports, you wouldn't necessarily see this. He's not like quick to temper. Like he's not one of these guys who flies off the handle. That's a little bit more what I'm like, honestly.
Oh, he's
and
smooth.
I think he's smooth, man. He's stoic.
His
and
blood
I think,
pressure's fucking 007, dude. That motherfucker is.
I don't know if that's good, but,
I mean, but it's still,
but yeah, I get what you're saying.
But it is where it is.
But I think Elon means the best, but I think he's making a mistake.
Yeah, got it.
That's my view.
So Elon was putting in a lot. Was Elon doing it for free all that time? He was
doing it for free. Yeah,
he was doing it for free.
He was doing it for free. I mean, he doesn't need money, right? That's the one thing Elon does not need.
So was he? I wonder if he was expecting anything from Trump and they just couldn't figure it out. I don't know. I'm just curious about it. I'm kind of like, you start to see how all this stuff kind of works, and just like it's like.
Yeah, I hear. I really do think he's disappointed about the bill. He's he disagrees.
I mean, they're just kind of going around in circles now at this point. Weird conversation. JD Vance has the same answer for pretty much every question. Theo Vance trying to get things out of him, and JD Vance is just saying, "Hey, this guy's emotional. He's saying whatever right now. It's gonna go away." Very strange. All the memes that are coming out of this are just absolutely great too. I love them. I saw this whole cinematic video, obviously AI, of Trump dying, having a heart attack on the golf course. Elon goes to occupy Mars and becomes the president of Mars. Trump has a heart attack, and they just it's this story of these two guys that love each other, father figure and the other, the son, the son and the father figure, the wannabe son and the father figure. And so anyway, Elon goes and occupies Mars and becomes the president of Mars. And the whole time Trump's, doing his thing, and they just miss each other the entire time. And then Elon winds up next to him at his deathbed. It's a hilarious thing. I'm gonna share it. I'm gonna share it so you guys can check it out. But we're gonna take another break here. Give me a minute. Let's see. I'm going to go ahead and play some Volatile Ways. Ladies and gentlemen, that was Volatile Ways with Motherless, one of my favorite tracks off of Perfect Dark. Hope you enjoyed that. So in other news, I watched UFC 316, paid full price for that shit. It is insane how expensive the UFC is becoming just to watch the main card. It's insane. Great performances by everybody on the main card. Kelvin Gastelum, jeez, that guy took some shots. Body bags fucked him up, dude. Wow. KG was taking some shots. Body bags, Joe Pfeiffer, I believe his name is. Body bags, Joe Pfeiffer came out to probably the gayest song that I've ever heard. What was that song called? He came out to Spring Love. This song. Body Bags. Joe Body Bags Pfeiffer. And then this song comes on. You can't be called Body Bags and come out to Spring Love by Stevie B. Yeah, no, dude. What the fuck was that? But he put a hurtin' on Kelvin Gastelum, though. Big time. And then you got Kayla Harrison and new bantamweight women's champion. Wow. I am so happy that went down like that. It went down just as Juliana Pena suspected. What, are you going to lay on top of me and beat me up? Yes, you got laid on and beat up like a bitch. You got fucked up. Overpowered, overskilled, outclassed, outgunned. Kayla Harrison whooped Juliana Pena's ass last night. It was great. For some reason, I can't get into Juliana Pena. I was begging for a different champion. And honestly, I'm begging for a new weight class in the women's division, the heavyweight class. I want to see some big, beautiful broads beat the fuck at each other with body shots and body slams. Could you imagine? Oh, I would love it. I think it would change the women's UFC division. I think it would change it forever. The heavyweight class in the women's oh my God. Could you imagine? Big ass ladies just beating. Beautiful big ass baby ladies just to fall out the sky, you know. Damn. That would be crazy. Can't wait. So Kayla Harrison is the new women's bantamweight champion of the world. Give it up. Just as I suspected. And just as I suspected, Merab once again ragdolled O'Malley for 4 rounds. People are shitting all over O'Malley, saying that he was never meant, this has all been hype. And no, you know what? I totally disagree. O'Malley proved himself when he beat Petr Yan. He proved himself when he murked Aljamain Sterling. Dude, you can't deny him. Merab is just on a different level. Merab's on a different level. He's out of this world. He's probably going to go down in history as one of the greatest bantamweight champions of all time. Give it up for Merab, dude. Man, I knew as soon as he got Sean O'Malley fucking locked up, I knew it was over. He had that so tight. I could see how painful, nasty that was. It started out with he had him by the jaw and he was cranking on it. It was so painful. And then it slipped down. That was probably so painful. Sean O'Malley had no other choice but to let it slip over his neck. And then Merab got the submission, ladies and gentlemen. And still, I don't see anybody beating Merab. Merab might have to move up. That's what everybody's saying. They're calling for Merab to move up there. I think he just destroys the bantamweight division for the foreseeable future. Yeah, he is a stud. I mean, he picked up Henry Cejudo, an Olympic-level wrestling champion. Picked him up like nothing, walked him to the other side of the cage, and slammed him. Merab's insane. Congratulations, Merab. Now, should they strip John Jones of the title? That's other big MMA news. Should they strip John Jones of the title? I don't think so. I think Jones is waiting for that number to get jacked up. I think they're going to hype up the fight. And I think 100% John Jones fights Tom Aspinall. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. Whatever. It doesn't matter. I'm not betting on it, but I'm saying John Jones is going to fight Tom Aspinall. And the UFC knows it. John Jones knows it. Tom Aspinall knows it. Until I see Tom Aspinall book a fight with another dude, this fight is happening between him and Jones. It's definitely going down. All the people hating on John Jones, you do this every single time a new challenger comes up. This is the guy. This is the guy. And John fucking murks him. And every dog has his day. We know this. But you guys say this every time. The history repeats itself with the John Jones fucking thing, dude. You guys do this every couple of years. This guy comes back. This guy destroyed Cyril Gane in like 20 seconds. Made it. Cyril Gane's not a dude to be fucked with. You guys got it twisted. Cyril Gane is a high-level striker, was moving like a fucking middleweight in the octagon. And John Jones came in there and fucking worked him and submitted him in like 30 seconds. It was insane. Maybe a minute. It was insane. The closest anybody has gotten is probably Gustafsson. Right? Yeah, Gustafsson. That was the closest. Second closest, probably Dominique Reyes. I think. But just like everybody else, John took them to the championship rounds and they fucking gave it up. They gave up that ass. So we'll see. I mean, if Tom books a fight with somebody else, I still think it's a big probability that they fight. Yeah. John's not going to go out with Stipe Miocic, which he made look like a child as well. But I say, if you got to strip him, you got to. It doesn't matter. John Jones doesn't give a fuck. He's the champion. And whenever he wants that belt back, he goes back and gets it. He goes back and fucks everybody up. There's nobody like John Jones right now. And I'm not saying that to suck him off. There is nobody that can do what John Jones does. A huge hiatus. You go on this big hiatus, come back, grab the title. All right, fuck it. I'm chilling now. Chill for a while. I'm going to come back and fight for a world title, take it back. It's insane. Nobody's capable of doing that. Conor tried to do it. No. And yeah, Jones can do whatever he wants, dude. The UFC's always going to entertain that money with him. I think they're just waiting for that number to look right, but those guys they're going to fight. Anyway, we're going to wrap it up tonight. I really appreciate everybody coming out. Thank you for being here. Until next time, we're going to leave you with a little bit of music. Let's see. I'm going to go ahead and leave this off with some, let me see here, some Gimmick. This song is called Numb to Reason. Let's check it out. Everybody have a great night tonight.